Welcome back to another episode of The War Machine. I'm your presenter, Tente Mushiboy, and in today's episode, we're going to have an overview and a look of what happened on the 15th of August, the Alaska meeting, and also another meeting that was held by European leaders as well as Trump on the 18th. So, as I earlier mentioned in the previous podcast, the meeting that was held on the 15th of August 2025 in Alaska was supposed to be a trilateral meeting to be made between Zelensky, Putin, and Trump. Although after seeing the turnout of that event, it can be seen that only two leaders met, and that is Trump and Putin. No surprise there. Zelensky did not attend the meeting. So moving on to actually what was discussed in the first meeting, although there were no ceasefire agreements as far as it's concerned, and but as far as it's concerned, Putin as well as Trump are yet having a symbolic gesture that shows that at the ending of all these meetings, peace can be promoted and can be produced at the ending of it. So yesterday there was a meeting. Today is the 20th. Let me just say on the 18th, because probably on the 18th of August, Ukraine President Zelensky attended the White House meeting with large European delegates, and these leaders are influential. They are influential leaders in the European side, and they actually form probably NATO, because we could see that Macron was there. We could see that the German Chancellor was there, and many other influential leaders who actually play a key role in maintaining that NATO is actually strong and actually promoting their agenda. And during the discussion that was held on the 18th, it was discussed that according to Article 5 of NATO, which is Collective Defense Clause, it states that if you attack one of the NATO countries, you attack all of them. No wonder why Zelensky, I believe this is when I know why Zelensky couldn't attend that meeting, because he thought to himself he can't make a decision on his own unless he makes the meeting together with NATO, so that they put their heads together and see to it that the agenda that they are trying to move on in the Northern Atlantic Trade Organization is actually promoted. So some of the key developments that occurred in the meeting that was done today was what was done on the 18th was U.S. security guarantees, of which Trump has to back them up to be if Putin had to attack, you have to defend this. And also, apart from that, what was also discussed was diplomatic strategies, where Trump was probably one of those individuals who, if you had seen that video of which they were all gathered up on the table, Trump was always giving remarks and was just praising all the leaders to be there. He was no, you look handsome today, you look beautiful, I love your haircut. He was just trying to be a peaceful person in that arena, and also talk about tension and dynamics. So Macron took a firm stand against Putin's demand, promoting a sharp response to Trump. So yeah, Macron, another topic to be talked of on another day. Moving on to readiness and skepticism. European leaders remain cautious, support Ukraine, but warn, but worry of Putin's leverage and strategic optics. And Zelensky's approach signals he stands firm on peace and unity, but not at the cost of sovereignty. So moving on to the other thing, and mind you, these leaders who meet at these meetings are not just representing you and I, or they're not just representing themselves, but they're representing a whole vast array of individuals and people who are actually there ruling. And also, let's talk of the analysis and interpretation. So Alaska was more dramatic than productive. Putin won optics, while the White House meeting showed European resolve and U.S. engagement. So the USA is the mediator. Minus the U.S. being there, I don't think there'll be any mediator who will be able to mediate the way that these meetings will be held. So Viva la Trump, send your prayers and your blessings to Trump, because without the man, I believe there would be really chaos in the world. As we see, we are having a lot of wars everywhere you look. I'm in Central Africa, Zambia right now, and I hear there's a war this brewing in Mozambique. Not only Mozambique, there's the tension of Kagame and the Congolese moving up to Ethiopia. Always tension. Ivory Coast, not so much because it's just ruled by Traoré. Moving on to probably the Israel and what's this? Iran. Israel-Iran tension. But first of all, they're trying to deal with the biggest threat that the humans who are in that area are mostly posed with. And if you had to look at the analytics which I presented the last time, you could actually see to it that I mentioned how many people are dying per week and how many have died since the time that the war like began up to like now. So now moving on to the closing probably remarks. I'd really have to say that this is like the first step of peace, knowing that it's even transparent. I watched the videos on YouTube and I was like, wow, this is actually being televised. I was like, yeah, this is what I call transparency in a way. And really me being a promoter of peace, unity and love, I'd really like to see to it that this meeting goes through, and whatever they do discuss actually like gets to be done, because at the end of the day they are not the people who are fighting the war, they are financing the war, making sure that the people who they finance have to like go and fight because they know this money we're being given. We're not just going to throw it in the trash, we're actually going to fight, show them that okay, we're working here. But that's just not the mean of work. What should be then focused on after this is done is that there's a lot of things that really have to be discussed in this world we're living in. Speak about climate action and planetary sustainability, talk of food security, sustainable agriculture, talk about global health, and let's talk about pandemics. Let's talk of space exploration and scientific research. All these things have to be put in research, and the most interesting one, which I really do see here, is space exploration. Really, I saw a video that is saying that there's a comet that's about to attack Earth and the like, and it's just really brewing up in me to know that why. But anyways, deal with the initial problems that we do have on Earth as joint leaders, so that after they are done with a joint effort, they can now focus on these things that will come together. There's global health, there's space exploration, there's sustainable health, there's energy production, sustainable production, there's climate and planetary sustainability. And after all this is done at the end of the day, then we can be strong enough to believe that okay, these leaders who are actually leading us can actually lead us in the long run, because they are putting interests of us who are like the minorities to actually have our voices heard. With that being said, I believe I've come to the end of this episode of The War Machine. And if you would have to contribute or maybe bring up a source of something that I'd really have to bring to the light of the people who are following this, please do. And please do like and subscribe. That thing does really help. I really want to have a broader reach. I'll keep practicing. I'll keep doing my best. But with that being said, I've come to the end of the episode of The War Machine. Thank you. I've been your presenter, Dede Mushuboy. Peace and love I send to you. Have a blessed one.